Ladies and gentlemen, Kerala's Sabarimala, a temple where even the gold doesn't remain safe. But remember, this is the election season, and even as the High Court has ordered for yet another probe into what seems as yet another gold theft case in yet again Sabarimala, what's the political price or political brownie points depending upon which spectrum one is? Kerala's Sabarimala temple is once again at the center of controversy as fresh misappropriation of gold and cash linked to a 2017 temple flag mast installation comes to light. The Kerala High Court has stepped in, directing the Vigilance and Anti-Corruption Bureau to constitute a special team to probe the discrepancies after a suo motu petition flagged serious procedural lapses and violations of Davison financial rules. Official records show that more than 9.5 kilograms of gold were available for the project, but only 9.34 kilograms were ultimately accounted for. Crucially, the records fail to specify the quantity donated by individual devotees. Actor Jairam, in an unrelated case, has also been summoned after video surfaced showing prime accused Unikrishnan Pothi conducting rituals at the actor's residence using gold-linked artifacts associated with the shrine. The ED is also scrutinizing the financial transactions of former temple officials, including Tantri Rajivaru, as it attempts to trace the alleged proceeds of the crime. The controversy could not have surfaced at a more sensitive, politically charged moment. The Left Democratic Front, led by Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, is heading into another election season, and Sabarimala has long been a flashpoint with Hindu voters. The opposition has accused the Vijayan government of attempting to shield those involved, alleging a cover-up until judicial intervention forced a probe. This comes even as the LDF has been trying to regain lost ground among devout Hindus, or at least as some in the opposition have been claiming. The CPIM hit out at the Congress over the alleged Sabarimala gold and cash misappropriation, claiming senior Congress leaders had a role in irregularities linked to the 2017 installation of the temple's flag mast, a charge the opposition denies. In fact, the government recently organized the Global Ayyappa Sangamam at Pampa with the backing of influential groups like the Naya Service Society and the SNDP Yogam, a move that briefly earned the administration rare praise from sections of the Hindi community. But the gold misappropriation allegations now threaten to wipe out those gains. The electoral stakes are high. While the LDF returned to power in 2021 with a historic 99 assembly seats, it has struggled in national elections, winning just one Lok Sabha seat each in 2019 and 2024. And remember, it's not just about what's happening in the Lok Sabha, where obviously the left presence has been marginalized to very, very few states, as it were. But within Kerala, where it has a huge stronghold, even a small swing of 5 to 6% of Hindu votes could decisively shape the next assembly outcome. But remember, even though this is about Sabarimala, this is about Sabarimala's gold, it's not just about devotion, faith and religion. It's also the perception of how the corrupt have been in cahoots and snatching the rightful of what remains to be ordinary citizens or devotees. That perception may cost some, that perception may mean gains for some. But how is this going to translate at a time a covert push for Hindu consolidation risks alienating minority voters who form a key part or left support base? For Pinarayi Vijayan, this is no longer just a case of alleged temple mismanagement. It could emerge as the biggest political test for the left ahead of the assembly polls. But it also remains to be seen how exactly is the opposition likely to gain out of this. Will they be able to realign themselves in a way to be able to gain out of this? Because remember, last time Sabarimala played out in Kerala, the left won it irrespective of that. BJP and the Congress-led UDF could not make gains with that. I'm being joined at this point by my colleague Vajiola, and I'm also going to be joined by panelists briefly. Vajiola, let's just go straight into heart of what this really is. One, about Sabarimala gold theft yet again. And two, about elections right there in a matter of few months. How exactly is this panning out on the ground, Vajiola? This seems to be a charge that's going to sting the left, which was looking for yet another historic comeback. But the question also remains whether the opposition will be able to realign themselves to gain anything out of this.
Well, in your read, you clearly mentioned, Sneha, that the last time also a situation like this happened, it still went on the way towards the left. And likely the entire Sabarimala issue just not pertains to Kerala itself, but it is an overall South Indian issue, and it pertains to a lot of other devotees from across the other parts of the state also. And that is where the left somewhere or the other gains momentum, because people who do get offended are mostly from states outside, from people outside Kerala, devotees from outside Kerala, though it has a great resonance within Kerala also. But when you look at Sabarimala itself, most of the votes still go to the left pocket. But right now, from what we've seen in this new expose in the TDP, we're also coming across the fact that the Sabarimala is somewhere or the other mired with a lot of controversies, with a lot of issues with mismanagement, not just gold, but a lot of other things that are taking place. And somewhere or the other, an overall investigation, a thorough report should be done with regards to every single aspect, because what we are talking about are something that is on the face of it. Now, the new flag mast, which is where the gold accountability has found again a discrepancy, is again another issue. Before that, it was the doors of the Sabarimala, with now the actor being summoned. Time and again, everything that is being donated to Sabarimala has an issue. Everything that is prosecuted or checked from Sabarimala has an issue. Therefore, an overall investigation should be done on what is the TDP board doing, what is the government doing, and clarity should be given, because what you are talking about is incidents that touch the sentiments of the people. These are gold not given by people uh, who have come there for their prayers, for their devotion, and they donate these things and go. And if these things are mired with controversies and are made to look bad, it adds on to what the devotees think of holy places like this. There should be an overall investigation in every aspect, somewhere or the other, because time and again, in issues like this coming out from Sabarimala adds and gives the bad image to devotees who go there. It takes away the belief from them.
Vajula, let's just look into how this really plays out in terms of elections. And like we discussed earlier, the last time when the elections were held, you had the entire faith, devotion and Sabarimala play out in full swing. And that was about women of a particular age, of menstruating age, being allowed to go inside Sabarimala or not being allowed, about how Supreme Court allowed it initially, how the Pinarayi Vijayan government was seen backing it, and how they opposed it eventually on the back foot, how there were protests in and around Kerala, in and around Trivandrum for that matter, but the left did manage to hold ground. Now, here's a big deal. We still are a few months ahead of elections, and you all over again have the left spinning a wheel against the Congress, which is the principal opposition in Kerala. And instead of opposition or the Congress launching an offensive, Pinarayi Vijayan government has launched an offensive. The CPIM has launched an offensive, saying that it is under the Congress that this happened, and top Congress leaders are linked to this.
Well, absolutely. These are findings that have come out from 2017, and this is the time when you have the UDF in power, and that is something that adds to the narrative of the LDF, where they have also created an image around them where they talk about being a partisan, somebody not involved. who do not emphasize religious activities. And clearly, we've seen this also during the entire Sabarimala protest, which happened, where we saw a huge protest. We saw people going, females trying to go inside the Sanctum Sanctorum, and the court coming down on it. Then we saw the government standing and abiding by the court's order, and we thought that this would go against the LDF, but that was not the case. And we saw LDF winning with great numbers. And I remember they even talking about how BJP, who tried to take it up as an issue, I remember Pinarayi Vijayan saying that they had one seat in Kerala. Now even that is going to be shut shop. And now again, you're seeing another religious issue being raised up this time around, and whether this will backfire on the LDF, but the LDF will be able to create a narrative around the entire timing of this entire incident. And already the UDF leaders are calling it out that this entire controversy has been created by the LDF to tarnish our image, and there is no controversy around it. The entire the minister, Mr. Ajay, the who's also a former TDP member at that point of time, has said that there is no discrepancy in these accounts. Gold which was received, in fact, there was more gold, and the accountability of those bills are not in the is not the part of the TDP board. Therefore, we'll have to wait and watch how this turns out, because the left has its image where it's not completely religious. It does not believe in enforcing religion, and it all believes in enforcing the law somewhere or the other in Tamil Nadu. And Sabarimala is an overall issue for the entire south of India. So it does not clearly affects the LDF that much when it comes to just Kerala alone, because there are people, devotees, who come from Karnataka, who come from Tamil Nadu, who come from Andhra Pradesh, and that is a larger number compared to the devotees at Kerala itself.
Jula, thank you very much for joining us with those details. Let me very quickly go over to our opposition panelists, really. We don't have left at this point. We reached out to them, but the left has not assigned anybody. I'm also being joined by BJP as well as the spokesperson for Kerala, Colonel S. Denny, who's the spokesperson for BJP in Kerala, and Professor Ronnie K. Baby, who's the spokesperson for Kerala, for Congress in Kerala. So, Mr. Ronnie K. Baby, first to you. What's the offensive at this point? It's the left launching out at you. It's the left saying that Congress senior leaders are linked to this entire Sabarimala heist as it's being seen.
Every day, news stories of God coming out of Sabarimala. We are seeing, but the present investigation under the Kerala government, even though the investigation is monitored by the Honorable Kerala High Court, but we have serious allegations against the way in which the investigation by SIT is going on. Just a few days back, the main culprits of this scandal, they were got bail and they were let out of the jail. Even till now, there was no kind of evidences were collected on this case. The allegations that more than 30 kilograms of gold were stolen from Sabarimala. Even a single gram of gold has been taken back from a kind of the culprit so far. The investigation has been started from last October onwards. 4 to 5 months have already been gone. But still now, the investigation is not going on the proper way. So we have serious allegations. So we have serious doubts about the way in which the SIT is conducting its investigations. The prime accused in this crime, they are the CPM leaders, including the former CPM MLA. The three Devasam Board presidents, three of them are former Devasam Board presidents. All of them are CPM leaders. The CPM are trying their level best to protect these culprits. Even after 4 or 5 months, not even a single page of charge sheet has been issued to these culprits. So the present investigating agency, they're giving all kinds of assistance for the accused persons to got bail and to come out of the jail. So there are serious doubts. What will be the outcome of this investigation? The government and the SIT, they're trying their level best to cover up the crime and to give clean sheets to all the accused. The Jairam, the present debate is founded upon the film actor Jairam, whom the ED has issued a notice for a hearing.
Okay.
But last month,
All right, let me very quickly get in Colonel S. Dini. Colonel, so here's a very big question that I have to ask you. Last assembly elections, BJP raked up Sabarimala issue, went all guns blazing at it in the name of faith and tradition. There were massive protests by the BJP across the state of Kerala. The dividends, though, in terms of political gains, was not visible for BJP in Kerala assembly elections. Are you worried this may be a rerun of that?
Ma'am, not at all. Firstly, because when I speak of BJP, we don't look at this from purely a political dividend-oriented issues. For us, protection of our faith is something which is absolutely a top priority. And as you rightly mentioned, last time also we had taken up this case with utmost sincerity, and with there are so many of karyakartas of our own party still languishing in jail, and there are thousands of people who have got cases registered against them, including as late as 90 or plus. Shri O. Rajagopal also has been charge sheeted yet again. So these are things which we are ready to pay that price. So for us, it is not a question of getting political dividend. Now, what we speak about the thousands of devotees, as you rightly mentioned in your lead. There are genuine concerns when you look at what is happening in Sabarimala. Already there was a case of gold theft, and now when investigations are going on, both the scale and the scope of the kind of things which are coming out is mind blowing. Every day the investigation brings out more murkier and murkier things. For example, now the latest is that the Honorable High Court has said that you please look into the flag mast thing, which incidentally happened during the UDF time. So here is when as a common devotee, when he looks, or he or she looks at it, he sees that why do we go to the temple? For restoring our faith, for getting peace. Now here when we go, each and everything has been looted from Sabarimala, except for I think the Ayyappa idol, which hopefully is still intact. Rest everything has been taken away, and there is question mark about where it has gone. There is question mark that who has taken it. There are question mark who is the real culprit. Nothing known. Both sides are now into warfare of photographs. There is a set of CPM who shows photograph of the topmost leaders of Congress. The Congress shows photographs of the topmost leaders of CPM.
Okay, all right. I mean, the fact that you're saying that it's the cause of the devotees that you really stand for is yet again a rerun of what you had said earlier during the assembly elections when you were raising the Sabarimala issue. And that time people did give you a very different mandate, both to the Congress-led UDF as well as the BJP. It was quite a very different, humiliating defeat for what was seen as a historic win for the left. But what will have to be seen is whether voters in Kerala are going to repeat this, or is it going to be a stunner of sorts? Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the Congress as well as the BJP speak on this. The left even refused to speak on this in the assembly as well. But this is a focus that will continue, because as election nears, this is only going to garner a whole lot of more public discourse. Thank you very much, Colonel S. Dini, as well as Professor Ronnie K. Baby, for joining us on this.